I looked at the video. She was actually talking about just liberal complacency. That is the thing that is getting people killed by the police, and our inability to change the systems that oppress us. Um, that is what is killing people locally and globally. It's a wonderful day in the homiehood, a wonderful day for a homie. Won't you be my homie to Taro? NDP candidate Sarah Jama won Hamilton Center, which is amazing. We were really pulling for Sarah, and we're excited that they have held on to Hamilton Center as a NDP stronghold. Formerly, it was Andrea Horvath's seat, and they moved on to be the mayor of Hamilton. So it's great that we're getting this victory. This is an article from Rob Ferguson, who was somewhat responsible for all of these kind of trash articles about Sarah Jama. You can see some of his other headlines here, including anti-Semitism charges, upend Ontario by-election race, an NDP stronghold. I think we've gone over this several times, but I don't think that these were anti-Semitic things that Sarah Jama has done in the past. Being pro-Israel and being part of the BDS movement is not anti-Semitic. So this person, Rob Ferguson, the person who wrote this article, is also saying here that Hamilton police protect Nazism, which was another thing that Sarah Jama had said in a 2021 rally. Which I think is just really ridiculous to put a video like that out, especially in 2021. Wasn't there like a famous thing happening during that time that was like talking about how police are racist and white supremacists, and there's like some sort of systemic injustice going on there. So I don't think it's a wild thing to say personally. I wish we became actually more fond of comparing the police to far right authoritarian fascists. In fact, fascists tend to use the police. So it's not a crazy thing. NDP candidate at center of Israel controversy apologizes for poor choice of words. Now, this is just from 11 hours ago at the time of me recording this. So this was something that happened, I think, day of the election, or which was yesterday. So Sarah Jama did apologize. I say, why? No, like, we need to stop apologizing for this, because the next time that this happens, and it's gonna happen, they're gonna say, well, Joel Harden of Ottawa apologized, so therefore he must have known that he was being anti-Semitic. And they're gonna say Sarah Jama also apologized, therefore she must have known that it's anti-Semitic. And then the third person that's going to happen to, they're like, well, why don't you apologize? Even Sarah Jama and Joel Harden apologized. They realized that their words are anti-Semitic. How come you can't? And it's just giving more and more ammunition to these false allegations. As RJ Helms in chat is saying, there's no greater sin than speaking the truth. And ain't that the truth? So, and then finally, this Rob Ferguson fellow, he writes this, this white guy right here. He finally writes an article saying Sarah Jama wins. I guess this is his job, and he was probably sad to see that his manufactured campaign here on Toronto Star was not fruitful. So there is lots of Twitter, that's my Twitter account, coming out about Sarah Jama. I guess Chrome needs to reload all these tabs. Marit Stiles saying, congratulations. So excited to welcome you to Queen's Park as a member of our caucus. Sarah is a leader who understands the power of solidarity to win more for people and build stronger, more caring communities. She's going to make a great MPP. We got more statements coming out. Every single poll. Apparently, Sarah Jama won every single poll in Hamilton Center. From what I saw, there might have been one that was unconfirmed, but it was, as Purple Mavis is saying, 55% of the vote, and almost every poll. Unbelievably proud, excited, and grateful that Sarah Jama is going to be our next MPP in Hamilton Center. Great to see it. Sarah Jama didn't just win the Hamilton Center by-election, she won it by a landslide. And doing the emoji Simpsons power emote here. This person's 52 out of 53 polls. That one poll. I wonder what's up with that. Okay, and Kristen Wong Tam, another NDP person, I believe. I feel like they are part of the NDP. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Okay, yeah. Toronto Center. Okay. I'm not crazy. With a landslide victory, history is made, and this really cute ass picture going around. So Ontario NDP candidate Sarah Jama has won a provincial by-election in Hamilton Center. Jama had garnered 54% of the vote, with nearly all of the polls reporting, beating Liberal Deidre Pike, Progressive Conservative Peter Weisner, and Green Party's Lucia Iannantuano, and 6 other candidates. She said there isn't a moment to waste at the Ontario legislature. The Ontario NDP are an important fight for improved access to public health care, stronger protections for renters, and the need for more affordable, accessible communities. She said in a statement, "I'm ready to get to work. Let's do this." So it is really encouraging, I think, to see, someone who is the first Somali woman to be part of Canadian government, and who is an outspoken radical. I think that having stronger voices at Queen's Park is going to be good for the NDP and for us in general. Of course, conservatives are going to fearmonger that people like Sarah Jama are going to be too radical and bring activism into politics, heaven forbid. But I think personally that is a great thing. It's funny to me when people are like fearmonger. It's funny to me when people fearmonger about the word activism, because as an activist, which it could be part of your career, you could literally transition into just about anything. You could be an activist and be a lawyer. You could be an activist and be a doctor. You could be an activist and be a teacher. You could be an activist, and what actually would make a logical progression of that would to be a politician, because in a way you are just doing activism but through kind of like more official capacities. So it seems so obvious that someone who is an activist might have interest in being a politician, because they are change makers, and one way to make that change would be to change the law and to be a lawmaker. So it's interesting to me, because I know, I can almost guarantee it, Brian Lilly of the Toronto Sun is out there, probably writing something right now, if they haven't already, on Sarah Jama, saying how dangerous this is going to be for Ontario, and fear mongering, trying to push people to do the sensible thing and support Doug Ford, who could be really worse than Doug Ford and the Conservatives right now. So I'm glad that the allegations of anti-Semitism are not something that interfered with the election. I never believed them to begin with, and I think I'm sad, I guess, that she did feel the need to apologize. I wonder if it is something that came from the NDP. I feel like they forced Joel Harden to apologize. Now they're forcing Sarah Jama to apologize. So the frustrating thing is that people keep saying, including this article from the Toronto Star over here, people keep saying that Sarah said that Israel is working to kill people abroad and in Canada. And that is not what Sarah said. I looked at the video. She was actually talking about just liberal complacency. that is the thing that is getting people killed by the police, and our inability to change the systems that oppress us. That is what is killing people locally and globally. So it's really disappointing. Okay, yeah, I can see it right here. She also talks about Israel, saying despite a change of government in the country in 2021, the same people will continue to fund the killing of people here locally and globally. She's not talking about Israelis. She's not talking about Jewish people. She's talking about liberal centrists who campaign on progressive ideas, but they turn around and they increase the police budget. If you watch the video, as I don't know how all the journalists across Global and Toronto Star and Globe and Mail, I don't know how they haven't watched the video. If you slow it down and listen to what a black woman in a wheelchair is saying, you can actually hear that she's talking about complacent liberal apathy. Those are, in this case, the same people who, yes, as we know, have a soft spot for policing. Even in progressive British Columbia, where there's an NDP leader, they've increased police funding. It happens, and she was calling it out, rightfully so. Jama here says that Jewish people deserve to feel safe and should never be targeted because of their faith or their culture. I pledge to speak out against anti-Semitism and show up for the community where I am needed. And even the Hamilton Jewish Federation has said that they look forward to working with Marit Stiles and, taking action against anti-Semitism, ensuring Ontario is an inclusive place for all, including its vibrant and diverse Jewish communities. Now, I do think that someone like Sarah Jama, who understands what it means to feel persecuted or to feel marginalized or to feel, adversity, I think someone like Sarah Jama is going to do a better job fighting anti-Semitism than somebody like, I don't know, whoever the conservative was. Sorry to essentialize myself here, but I'm going to have to take a wild stab at it and say whoever the conservative candidate was in Hamilton Centre was not going to do as good a job fighting for the rights of Jewish people in Canada. And you know what? All marginalized people, because they probably don't have that lens. Why? How do I know? Well, because they are a capital C conservative.